Hey, hey, D-Wow. How do? All right. Well, I ain't waiting all day, so it might just be me and you. But anyway, well, you better slide then. You got your holy socks on. Oh, well, welcome to Saturday. Welcome to Saturday Scouts. This week we talking about things every adult should know. So this is still part of the Adulting 101 series. Okay, first thing is budgeting or how to reconcile a check register. So many people do not know how to get their money in order. If you walking around swiping the debit card all day and never write down anything, you never add those little columns up to see, okay, this is what I spent, this is what's still outstanding, this is how much I got left, you're going to be swiping and end up in the red. If you don't use check registers or a debit card and you function only on cash, you still need a budget. So you can keep track of your spending, you know where your money is going, you know what's coming in, what's going out, and where it's going. Okay, so the first thing every adult should know is how to balance a budget or reconcile their check register. Number 2, this is important for the folks that like to eat, me, how to grocery shop. And I don't mean just run in the store, throw some stuff in the basket and come out. That's not grocery shopping. Adult grocery shopping is you plan out what you need. You keep a list of what's missing from your cabinets. You can shop one time a month and get the major things you need throughout the month, and then just go back for essentials like milk, bread, eggs, stuff that everybody runs out of. So if you don't know, let me give you the short version of how to grocery shop. You want to get your proteins first. Whether you're vegan, whether you eat meat, whatever. Get your proteins first because that's the basis of your meal. That's what's going to be most expensive generally, and that's what you're going to need because you can always throw a few coins together and get some canned food or some vegetables. So you want to get your protein first, your meat, eggs, peanut butter, whatever your source of protein is. Then you want to move on to get your essentials, things like sugar, flour, bread, oils, cornmeal, any of that stuff that you can use to build other things. That also includes your vegetables, potatoes, onions, corn, stuff you know you're going to use a lot of throughout the month to create your meals. Okay? Then you can move on and get your snacks and junk food and all that stuff. That's not essential, but after you've gotten the main things that you know you're going to need to build healthy, nutritional meals, then you go back and get the junk. Okay, same thing goes with household items. Keep a running list of stuff you need. If you can buy in bulk, buy it in bulk. So maybe you only have to buy trash bags once a year, and you go to Sam's and spend $16 on a box of 200 trash bags. So now you got trash bags for the whole year. You buy the big thing of detergent and put it in a smaller bottle. So then you don't have to keep spending on that over and over every month. Okay? Number 3 is how to cook. You don't have to be a chef. You don't have to be gourmet, Chef Boyardee, but you need to know how to cook, if nothing else, to survive. Cook enough so that you can make a decent breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner. If you have guests over, if you have family over. So if you got one main dish, every time they come over, they know they're going to get some bomb-baked spaghetti. Hey, do you. If you can make omelets, whatever it is, but you need to know how to cook as an adult. If you don't have anybody that can teach you, go to YouTube, go to Facebook, go to Pinterest, go to the library, check out some cookbooks, get something. Eating fast food all the time will kill you and kill your pockets. You know, it's a lot cheaper to cook. 2, when you learn how to cook, you can create whatever they're selling in the restaurant. You can make it at home and make it your own. If you find something that you like, find a copycat recipe. It's a lot cheaper. You go spend $8 on a breakfast sandwich, some potatoes, and a drink. Well, you take that $8 to the grocery store, you got breakfast for a whole week. So it's a big difference when you know how to cook than when you're just eating out all the time. Plus, men and women, if you're dating, we like folks that can cook. Amen, somebody? Amen. Yes. Number 4 is basic sewing skills. I'm not saying you got to whip out the sewing machine and be Martha Stewart, but at least know how to sew on a button. Know how to hem a pair of pants. Know how to repair a hole or rip or tear. It goes a long way. If you don't know how to sew, get with your grandmama, auntie, somebody. If nothing else, get you a needle and thread and practice. There's sewing videos on YouTube too. But everybody needs to know how to do those basic things. What if you're out somewhere, you got a big important presentation coming up and all your buttons pop off your pants, but you don't know how to sew? What are you going to do? You don't have time to take it to the dry cleaners, ask somebody else to fix it. Either you're going to be in there with your pants around your ankles, or you're going to figure out a way to get that button back on. Okay? And the last thing is first aid and CPR. And this is everybody that's old enough to know how to do it. Not just for certification and for work, but because you never know when you may need those skills. For yourself, for your children, a co-worker, anybody. And when you take first aid, you learn wound care, you learn how to do CPR and chest compressions, you learn how to do the paddles, all of that stuff that may save a life, but you also learn how not to panic when you get involved in an emergency situation. It helps you stay calm. It helps you figure out, okay, this is what I need to do first. If somebody stops breathing, do I give chest compressions first or do I give air first? When you learn CPR and first aid, you learn which one comes first, and it's different for an adult and for a child. If you have children, I definitely encourage you to take a CPR and first aid class. You know, a lot of times we panic when we see somebody choking, we see somebody that's not breathing or unconscious. But if you've had the training, it helps you calm down and assess the situation a lot better because you know what to do. You're trained, and even if you do panic, at some point that switch is going to click over and say, hey, okay, I know what to do. I need to take a breath. Go. If you don't have CPR and first aid training available through your job, a lot of times you can get it through your local Red Cross for a small fee, and the certification is usually good for a couple of years. They usually give you a CPR mask, so if you do have to do CPR on somebody, you have that barrier and that protection. So, those 5 things that every adult should know is just basic, good practical knowledge, good tools and skills to have under your belt. I hope this has helped you, blessed you, and I will see you next week for Saturday Scopes. Thank you.